Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a cool feature today. It's going to be mainly the B&W 801 D4 with some associated electronics, some cool Krell amps, Mark Levinson preamp, cool turntable with a reference Hannah cartridge, I think the top of the line, that was just set up at 3MA by Carl with Wally Tools. And then also there's a Pioneer tape deck, totally restored. And we have some fun music. So I'm gonna put that like I normally do in a second video. And again, I do the second video for a few reasons. Sometimes people don't care about the music and they don't believe you can hear anything on YouTube. That's fine. You can ignore that second video. Some people, that's what they want to hear. Just the music. They don't want to hear me talk, and the talking heads, they're tired of that on YouTube. So they just go straight to the music and find some cool tunes sometimes, even if you can't hear a difference. It's a good way to find some tunes. And today we're going to have some 80s music on tape, on analog tape, and then also Dark Side of the Moon, the White album. Very rare. I haven't seen that before, so we played it today. So that's going to be the second video. Today, in this video, I was just going to talk about mainly the B&W, but this is kind of more of a feature, a showcase, than a deep dive review. And I don't have a ton of tracks in the other one, but it's been in 3MA for a while, and I've heard it enough to kind of get a good feel for it. And it's around that 20,000 budget range, I think, which nowadays for reference level speakers is not even that crazy, considering, and especially because I think it's all aluminum enclosure, at least the spine and everything inside. It's got a beautiful look to it. I mean, my favorite B&W is the B&W Nautilus, and I've done some videos with the B&W Nautilus, having experience with that. And that's one of my favorite speakers from B&W, because it is my favorite one, because that I've heard at least, because it's got that active crossover quad amp, and it's just brilliant sounding and design that's just timeless over this many years. Just still sounds great. So I do have some videos. Maybe I'll pop it up here if you want to check that out. But next level from that, if I had a favorite B&W speaker that I've seen and heard, it probably would be this one. B&W for me has never been a brand that I've lusted after. There was a dealership in New Orleans when I was growing up that always had B&Ws, and the guy there swore by it. But for whatever reason, it just didn't resonate with me. I gravitated more in the box. When I was in my box speaker phase, I gravitated more to the British sound, the Spendor, Harbit, those kind of box speakers, versus the B&W, which have a little different flavor. And so I never really lusted after B&W, but over the years, I've grown to appreciate, and then hearing the Nautilus, and then this one, I think, if you're a B&W fan, I would definitely put this on the audition list if you can afford it. This is a really good speaker, and probably one of the best B&Ws I've heard. In terms of, let's talk about aesthetics though first. I love the aesthetics, and everybody that has seen it raves about it, especially this color combination you're going to see. It's the veneer, kind of a light veneer, but almost has a grayish aspect to it that melds perfectly with the metallic aluminum looking drivers. It just works just so well in my book in terms of synergy with the profile and the color combination. You can do different ones, but this one looks really good. You could argue that the veneer, because it's such a curved cabinet, the veneer doesn't give you the impression it's wood like it does on other box cabinets, because wood obviously wouldn't bend that way with the grain structure. But man, it's an excellent job with the veneer and everything. I would put it A+ for looks. Now, in terms of sound, what's really cool about this one is it's got a down-firing port. Very attractive bass. Everything is well thought out. Driver quality is B&W driver quality. You could just see a lot of technology goes into it. It's not just chintzy, $10, $20 drivers. And of course, crossover, I can't see the crossover, but they've got their own unique style of doing speakers and have been successful and legendary brands. So if you're in the B&W camp, I can't find much to fault with this one. It's got a very big sound. It filled that small room easily, got tons of bass, and really when I would benchmark it against even bigger box speakers, maybe the Magicos or you know, the Rockports and stuff like that, this one would be competitive, you know, at a reduced cost. So, you know, I don't know what I would choose. I'd have to spend a lot more time with it, but I would, if you had this speaker, for many people, this is going to be more than end game for most people. And again, the tracks I have in the next video will highlight some of the aspects of it. You really, you know, let's face it, if you're spending $20,000 on a speaker, there are some people that buy sight, you know, well, unheard, and they just buy it anyway. But you probably want to listen to those kind of speakers when you're spending that kind of money, or deal with a dealer that allows you to take it home and try it, like the guys at 3MA usually do. So I really don't have too much else to say on the other gear other than the Pioneer analog tape was really impressive, totally renovated, and we did a recorded material from 80s songs, and you're gonna like some of the 80s songs that was picked, and it sounded great. It did have a high noise floor, I noticed, with analog tape, cassette, anything. It's gonna have a little higher noise floor, but once the music was playing, there was really no sacrifice in terms of bass impact or anything. Dynamics, it just sounded really pretty good to me. And the turntable with the Henna cartridge set up well, that sounded great with Pink Floyd. Obviously I couldn't change out the preamp and the Krell amps, but everything drove it fine. So those pieces are definitely worth a thumbs up at this point with preliminary cursory level exposure. So I just wanted to give you this little feature. What's coming down the pike, though, is a much longer video when I spent time with Linkwit's audio speaker that I featured at Expona in the room, and Key audio speakers, which use some very unique DSP, even more advanced than in the past, active speakers. Both of these speakers are very advanced and unique in what they do, and looks-wise as well. So I spent a lot of time over at this gentleman's house who had both of them in the same room, and we swapped them out. And so I'm able to give you a much better, deeper dive on those. So that's coming soon. So sign up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here soon. The next video should be linked with the music clips on the B&W at this ending screen.